play. Scott Luke with the Oshawa goal. It came at the 3:17 mark. It's Mike Ricci and Eric Lindros of the Oshawa Generals. The focus of this intermission. We'll be talking with both of them in a few moments. But we thought it would be interesting for you to hear what some of their teammates and coaches and some of their contemporaries say about them.
It was really interesting, the first couple of practices. The first couple of practices were an unbelievable tempo. Everybody rose to the challenge, and everybody was very, very high tempo. He's a hard worker, and he's going to make everybody a better player because he works so hard, and everybody wants to play at that level.
Eric's character is he's full of life. He is a hard worker. He's dedicated to the game, and he just makes everyone want to work that much harder.
It brings everybody's game right up. They see how hard Eric works and everything that he has achieved, and everybody would like some of the attention. So everybody's just going to work a lot harder, and there's no negative factors about the media attention. You know, he deserves everything he's getting, and everybody's got to put their egos aside a little bit and understand that, you know, he's a superstar and that he deserves everything he's getting, and he's just going to make our team and every individual that much better. And you know, if he can help us possibly go far in the playoffs, then that's going to help me and everybody else on our hockey team.
Very unselfish attitude being expressed by Eric Lindros' Oshawa Generals teammates. Eric joins us now. And Eric, so much pressure on such a pair of young shoulders. How do you handle it all?
You got to realize where it's coming from and just understand that they're saying it because you're playing well, and you have to keep going out to the rink and playing, you know, at the same tempo and the same level, and going back game after game and just playing harder.
At what stage of your life and of your career did all these expectations start to rise?
I don't know, maybe when 14 there was, you know, a little bit of talk, and you know, I always thought I could play pro if I stuck to it and worked hard, and hopefully that's the case.
Have you had the goal of playing in the NHL since you were that young, since you were 14 years old?
I've had the goal since I was about 8. I really wanted to play there, and I guess it's any hockey player's dream. I'm just fortunate to be in the situation I'm in. It's
unbelievable that you've had that goal since you were 8 years old. Can you take us back at that time and your train of thought? I mean, how can you reach that at such a young age? What made you sit there and say, I want to play in the NHL and that's what I'm going to do?
Well, I guess I was going through the magazines and looking at the cars these guys are driving and the houses they had, and you know, I could live with that.
What about fitting in with the Oshawa Generals? Has it been tough at all? Because you came in, they had T-shirts with your likeness printed up. People were wearing them on opening night. You were coming off the World Juniors. So much publicity and everything. Were you worried at all about fitting in with your teammates?
A little bit, but Oshawa's really treated me, you know, second to none, and I'm grateful for it. They've put me on a line with some, you know, real talented players, and the team as a whole is a very talented team, and we're just grouping together right now, and we get some of our injuries back, and you know, we'll be there.
Eric, thank you very much, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks.
Eric Lindros of the Oshawa Generals. We'll hear from Mike Ricci in a few moments. The score after one period of play as we take you inside the Oshawa Generals dressing room is 1-0 for the Generals. Last time these two teams played, Peterborough 5-3 victors. They fired 50 shots on the Oshawa net in that game, the most the Generals have given up in a game this season. We just heard from Eric Lindros, certainly one of the key players in the Oshawa Generals, one of the key players in all of junior hockey. We'd like you to do the same thing now with Mike Ricci of the Peterborough Petes and start off again by hearing what his teammates have to say about his role.
Our attendance has gradually gone maybe from a 22 average when Mike started here to a 2,800 average per game. So he's put people in the building. And I think that as well, as far as on the ice goes, upgrading the caliber of the players that surround them. You have a player like Mike in practice coming down you on as a defenseman, you're going to improve as a hockey player because he's going to put moves on you until you start to read and react and understand.
There's a humbleness and a non-selfishness coming from Mike. You see him come into Peterborough, and after his first year, he had all the publicity, and he was going to be firstest, and he was youngest team on the national junior team and all-star. And didn't change Mike at all. Every day comes out to practice and works harder, and if he doesn't take a night off, he just continually works hard. And through that, I think he's helped us a great deal, and myself personally.
You know, you watch Mike in practice, the moves he makes, and you know, maybe when he's not looking or no one's looking, you'll try and do a move that he makes, or he might teach you something about shooting or something like that, and it's definitely a big inspiration. You know, when you know a guy's rated #1 in the world as a junior or whatever he is, and you want to be like him, and it's a big inspiration for me, and it makes me play much better.
So what do you do to top this season? A gold medal, you're such a valuable member of the Peterborough Petes. What do you do to top it?
Well, I think Memorial Cup will top all that off. It's a goal that
you know, our team's been going after for 3 years, and we had a good chance at it last year, and we didn't come through. But you know, things are looking pretty dim this year. A lot of people don't pick us to win it, but they didn't pick us to win it last year, so that'll probably top it off.
Now, last year when you went to the Memorial Cup, you weren't able to perform to your fullest. I believe you had the flu, so there must be a bit of a personal vendetta that you have to go back there and show what you can do under pressure.
Yeah, well, actually, I caught the chicken pox, so that was something that...
Worse than the flu.
So something that really, you know, kind of sunk into me and really put a damper on my whole year of not going out there and performing the way I could have and should have. But, you know, it kind of hurt and put a damper on my year, and I'd like to go to the Memorial Cup and, you know, redeem myself there.
Mike, I hear players say that the mental part of the game is so important, and it's been a real roller coaster for you this season, I would think. I mean, obviously you get sky high for the World Junior Championships. You can't possibly get that psyched up for a regular season OHL game. Has that been a tough battle for you at all?
Well, I don't know. I take every game as, you know, as a big game, and that's what I'm trying to do. You know, there's probably not as big a game as the World Championships, so it is kind of getting tough. But you know, there's a goal in our dressing room that we want to win the Memorial Cup, and to do that, we have to keep winning. And you know, that's all I'm striving for right now. And it just going after that goal keeps you pumped up, and you know, you want to win out there because you know, winning's kind of like everything. So. If you don't win, it's kind of disappointing.
What about as far as your approach to a game? You have guys who are very intense. You have other guys who go about it almost business-like. Where would you fit yourself in?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle. You know, there's some days where I go out there very intense. There's some days where, you know, things are pretty smooth and things just happen pretty easily, and you know, it doesn't look like I'm too intense. But I try and get as intense as possible because it is a game of intensity sometimes, and you know, I just put myself right in the middle. Don't get too high when things go great, and don't get too low when things go bad.
Mike, thank you very much, and good luck the rest of the way.
Oh, thank you.
Mike Ricci, the Peterborough Petes, quite likely the #1 pick in this June's NHL draft. Scott Luke with the goal. The Oshawa Generals with the lead, 1-0 over top of the Peterborough Petes after one period. Time now for our Air Canada play of the period. The Air Canada play of the period, Air Canada's executive class service, Canada's finest business class. The play of the period, just plain and simply a body check. Eric Lindros on Joe Holly of the Peterborough Petes, takes him out in the corner, picks up the puck and creates a scoring chance with a nice pass back out through the slot. Good basic hockey gets the nod as our Air Canada play of the period. The Oshawa Generals and the Peterborough Petes set to hit the ice for period #2. We'll be back after this.